Hi. So I know last week we were talking about kind of some issues, some jobs that you had, some issues you had with your job, and I was just wondering if you wanted to keep talking about this week?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay. So just tell me kind of what's going on at work.
Mhm. I have just been feeling really overwhelmed at work. It's kind of my busy season. I have kind of two busy seasons, and I'm like right in the middle of one right now. And a woman I work with, mostly during my other busy season in the summer, she's trying to amp up all this summer stuff, and it's like I'm in the middle of my busy time already.
Right, yeah.
I want to give energy to that, but I can't give as much as she can or wants me to. So,
Right.
so it's just like,
That's hard.
stop.
Yeah, it sounds like it's kind of a lot.
Yeah.
And sounds like you might feel a little bit of pressure.
Yeah, I definitely feel pressure. Like we'll have staff meetings and she'll just constantly change it to like what she's doing. And it's like, I kind of have to focus in the here and now. So,
Right.
yeah.
Well, what can we, how can we describe kind of your relationship with this woman you say who has, sounds like she's kind of she overworks a little bit.
Yeah, definitely. In general, we're friendly. Like we talk to each other, but when it's high pressure, she just gets really rigid. And so that's difficult for me. So that's when it becomes hard for me to see her more, just as like a peer rather than like this pressure.
Right.
Yeah.
So maybe we could kind of name this problem as like the pressure.
Yeah, the pressure. Yeah,
Okay.
I think that's...
So how does she kind of relate to you? How does this problem, how does I call it?
The pressure?
The pressure.
Yes.
How does she kind of relate to you?
I think just kind of like pokes and prods and gets kind of like her say in, so,
Right.
kind of whichever way possible.
Right.
And I'm trying to like protect myself.
Yeah.
But just like feeling out for
Right.
way in.
What kind of things do you do to protect yourself?
I think sometimes I avoid her for sure. And, it happens.
Yeah.
And sometimes, like, if we're in a staff meeting and stuff, there are things, like, I realize I do need to talk to her about some things. But if it's just, like, too much for me, I will say, like, I'm really trying to focus on what I'm doing now.
Wow.
Like, there's time for us
that's
to...
great.
Yeah, it's hard, and she doesn't always get it.
Right. Wow, that sounds amazing that you can just go and talk to her and let her know how you're feeling, and
I don't
sounds really
know.
good.
Yeah, I don't know if I tell her how I'm feeling.
Well,
but
what you need to talk to her about.
But yeah,
You kind of get that out of the way.
Definitely.
Good. Can you think of a time and like a specific time where this worked really well for you?
I can definitely think of times when it didn't work well. Usually they're pretty short conversations. So there's some instances where it'll be in passing or something.
Yeah.
And I just don't let her keep going. So there's a couple of like smaller incidents.
That's good.
Yeah.
That sounds like that's a really, you can get her to stop and kind of veer the conversation a different way.
Yeah.
So tell me about maybe one of the ways where like it didn't go very well.
There was definitely one staff meeting that I can vividly remember. She was just kept trying to get me to take on more work for this. And I think I was really tired from just like how much I was doing. And just feeling like I already have enough on my plate. And I did not handle it very well. I definitely was like, no, I'm not talking about this. I'm, and I realize now like it was really important for her in the moment, but I was just like, nope, moving on, and like got up out of the staff meeting and left.
Well, it sounds like you were taking care of yourself.
Yeah, I think that's how it felt in the moment for sure.
And that, taking care of yourself is really important.
Mm-hmm.
It's an important part of being healthy, and
Yeah, definitely.
sounds like you care about that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I do. Especially like when I get more run down, I just have to really protect myself and, take care of like, this is all I can do.
That's a great way to deal with that.
Thank you.
So this, we'll call her the pressure.
Mm-hmm.
What would you like, how do you react to her? Like, so in the staff meeting that you were having a hard time with, you just got up and left, or?
Yeah, so it felt really cold, like not very empathetic. So I think like when I sense she's trying to like get in there, I will just like turn the emotion off a bit. So I definitely know I do that. Sometimes more than others, sometimes more than others. This specific example.
Tell me more about how she picks and pins, like, tell me a little bit about that.
I think just like trying to start a conversation about it in like a really small way, and then kind of if I say yes to something, it's kind of like more and more and more. And it's just like constant. So
yeah. What would you like to tell this pressure? What would you like to say to the pressure?
I think I would like to say that I want to be helpful and that I have limits to how much I can be helpful. And then I want to do what I can.
That sounds like a good thing to express.
Yeah.
So how would you think that the pressure would take that?
I think that it wouldn't be enough. Just like because it's so constant, it feels like what I can do is not enough. So I would worry it'd be like, well, too bad, we need
But
more.
you're taking care of yourself.
Yeah.
And it sounds like the pressure is maybe the pressure's gonna have to learn to deal with your limits.
Yeah.
And I think that's great, you're setting limits for yourself.
Thank you.
So what else is going well between you and the pressure?
I think outside of like those moments